Thanks for joining. I'm Lindsay. I'm going to walk you through a basic beginner Pilates class. If you've been taking class with me in person, this is specifically for you guys so you can do it at home. So it should be a lot of familiar exercises, a lot of familiar cueing, and just a lot of familiarity. So if you are not taking class in person with me, definitely give it a shot. Let me know what you think. And if you're interested in joining some of our beginner classes, write me a comment or send me a message and I'll be happy to give you information about that. So we're going to try and keep this short, hopefully about a half hour, because I need to make sure I get out and pick my kids up. So first things first, we're going to start with our 100. So our 100 has lots of different choices. You can keep your feet chair-like, right like this. You can keep your legs straight, and you can find what works for you. So I'm going to have everybody start chair-like, unless you know your body and you want different. Arms are going to be up ahead. You're going to inhale, exhale. As you exhale, come up into that lift and point those fingers. We're just going to hold for a second as we come into that lift. Our rib cage is down. Our pubic bone is neutrals. It's right there. Our lower back is pressing down. Our fingertips are long. Okay? Then we're going to roll back down. Inhale, exhale. Come on up. Look at those inner thighs. Reach those fingertips long, but at the same time, your collarbone is open wide, and you're breathing and relax. We're going to do 3 more like that. So you're going to inhale, exhale, look at those inner thighs. Feel free to squeeze those heels together. Your feet are in that Pilates V stance, so you've got those heels pressing together. We're reaching and release. 2 more like this. Inhale, exhale, come on up. Practicing our lift. So many of our exercises in Pilates come from this lift. Breathe and release. On this next one, I want you to inhale, exhale, come on up and hold. Now we're going to hold it here and we're going to just pump those arms. Coming from our shoulders, we're just pumping down and up. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Breathe. Push those heels together. In and out. We're going right into our 100. So if this feels too easy, go ahead and extend your legs out. If it feels too hard, go ahead and relax your head down. But focus on that lift and focus on that breath and that core. Breathing. Let's do 2 more cycles of breath. Good. Go ahead and relax that upper body. Drop your legs down. Let's point our fingers and our toes, make ourselves nice and long for a second. Take a big breath and release. Good. We're going to grab behind our leg to pull ourselves up to a sitting position. We're going to start with our knees up, our feet flat on the floor right in front of us. You can start with your hands right behind your thighs, right here, right behind your knees. We're going to tuck our tailbone under. So think of drawing that tailbone long underneath you. And as you do, pulling that waistband back behind you. So my arms are here and I can use them if I need, but ideally we should be able to hold them up here because it's our core that is holding us here. This is our half roll back. So we're rolling back, we're breathing, and then we're going to sit tall. Good. We're going to scoop that pelvis, so we're tipping that tailbone under right here, and then we're going to roll back. We're going to hold, breathe, and come forward. We're going to do that 3 more times. Inhale, exhale, tilt that pelvis under, pull that waistband up and in, engage that whole front core. I say front core, but it's all the way around. If you need to, use those fingertips for a little bit of support. If not, have them right next to you and then come on up. 2 more. Inhale, exhale, tuck that pelvis, roll on back. Good. Challenge yourself. Breathe. I thought that this long sleeve would be a good idea, but I forgot that my wood stove is like right there. So it's awful warm. Come on up. Last one. Inhale, exhale, scoop the pelvis, roll on back, and hold. Pulling that waistband back breathing, and up. Good. Now we're going to lay back onto our forearms. So you're going to lay back right like this. Our chest is open and our feet are firmly onto the ground, and we can squeeze our legs together if we'd like. What we need to do is we're going to inhale, we're going to lift our pelvic floor, turn on that core. And from here, you're going to extend the right leg out, or excuse me, right arm, and then the left arm, okay? Pull that core up and in. You can tuck that pelvis if you want, and reach, and reach. So one arm is staying connected. This is the elbow slip. So we're working on strengthening that core for different exercises. So if you find an exercise as we progress and you're like, not today, come back to this half roll back or this elbow slip. If this feels decently easy, you can engage that core, slide both elbows so both hands are up, and then both back, okay? Inhale, exhale, extend, and both back. Let's do two more. So if you're continuing on one side at a time, go for it. Pull that waistband back, lift that pelvic floor, and pull back. One more. Inhale, exhale, and reach. Do you notice this position? This is our hundreds position. If we were to extend our legs up, look where we are. Good. Put those elbows back. That's why we're strengthening our core. That's what we're working for, okay? Go ahead and lay all the way back down. Legs are straight. We're going to flex our toes towards us. So pull them right back towards us. Arms are up overhead. We're going to squeeze our legs in together while we pull those toes towards us. We're going to lift our arms up overhead. When you lift your arms up overhead, you don't want to go all the way back here, because when you're back here, your ribs flare open and you lose all of this core connection. So you want your arms up to be in between like your chin and your nose, right back in here. If you can feel where that rib cage starts to flare open, stop right above it. If you can't, then stop right about your chin. Squeeze those legs together, flex those toes. We're going to inhale, exhale, and we're going to slowly roll up all the way until we get towards our toes. And then we're going to just round forward. It's not a sit and reach. It's not a boom, boom, boom. You're just going to round forward. And then we're going to round all the way back down, one vertebrae at a time with control. And then arms up overhead. Inhale, exhale, squeeze those legs together. And reach. Now, if this is too hard and you're not getting up all the way, you've got a couple choices. You can ask either a kiddo or a husband or anybody you've got next to you to hold onto your feet. Or you can put them underneath a couch if you'd like. And that's going to make it just a little bit easier to give you that brace to hold those legs under. Or if you're like, not even getting up close, practice that half roll back that we just did or that elbow slip. Okay? Inhale, exhale, and come on up. Now, if this is feeling very easy, I can give you one small variation to make it just a little bit harder, but make sure you've got good form before you do this. And now that I'm wearing out, I'm not sure if I can do it. Arms are going to stay next to your ears, okay? So you have to keep that rib cage down to start. You're going to inhale, exhale, and come up, keeping those arms up a little bit higher, okay? So you can practice that a couple times. And you know what? You may do that once or twice. And then the other time, have those arms up a little bit higher. Squeezing those legs together. Let's do one more. So last one right here. Good. And then we're going to lay all the way back down. Arms are going to be long by our side. Find a nice firm platform for our upper shoulders and our back, so we want them nice and connected. We're going to keep those toes flexed. We're going to lift the right leg straight up to the sky. You're going to point the toe that's up to the sky. You also want it to be as straight as possible. Your bottom foot is flexed, so those toes are pulled towards you. Leg that's up in the air, you're going to bring it across your body, down and away, and up. So across your body, down and away, and up. Okay? You're going to do this while keeping your pelvis stable, while reaching that leg as high up as it can possibly go. Aiming for 5, and then reverse directions. You're going to come out away from your body, across and up. Away from your body, across and up. All the while, I am reaching this leg out and away from me as high as I possibly can. 2 more. Keeping the pelvis stable. Breathing. Good. Keep that foot up there. Lift the other one up and switch. Now you're going to pull the toes down on the ground on your right foot. Left foot's going to be straight up to the sky. You're going to come across your body, out to the side, and up. Across your body, out to the side, and up. Keeping that leg strong, keeping that leg tall, and breathing. If you find that your hip is clicking a lot, you can try and externally rotate your foot so you can tip it out just a little bit. Go ahead and reverse directions. Go out away from your body, across, and up. Away from your body, up, and then keep going. 3 more. Breathing. One more. Good. And drop that leg down. Go ahead and point your toes and your fingers. Make yourself nice and long. Give a little stretch. Good. Flex those toes towards you. Remember that roll up we just learned? We've got one of them to come up to the next position. We're going to have hands above our heads. We're going to inhale, exhale, squeeze those legs together, roll on up, and come up into a sitting position. Good. Now you're going to bend your knees, bring your feet towards you. We're going to grab the outside, so your hands are coming on the outside of your legs. We're not having them inside right now, on the outside. And I'm going to show you this position, and then I'll twist to the other. So you're going to lift up one foot and then the other. You're going to squeeze those heels together, and you're going to balance right like this, okay? So if you're balancing like that, you should have some space between your knee and your chest and some space between your heel and your bum, correct? And our hands are on the outside of our ankles. We want to keep the same space between our heels and our bum and our knees, or excuse me, our thighs and our chest, okay? While you're here to start, you may just balance, and this may be a good challenge. If you can, you're going to think of rolling that tailbone under, pulling that waistband back, and then sitting tall. It's a tiny movement, but you should feel your center of gravity, your weight move, and that core kick in and have to work, right? So tilt that tailbone long underneath you, pull that waistband back, and balance, and then sit tall again. Let's do one more like this, and you can stay there if you would like, or you can add the roll back. So you're going to tip that tailbone under, you're going to roll back, and then roll up. Notice how I never went onto my head and neck. You're going to stop about your brow line and your shoulders, and then come right back up. Trying to keep the same distance between your thighs and your chest and your heels and your bum, because it's really easy to want to kind of come forward and then come up and use momentum. So you want that core to be working, squeezing those heels together the whole time. Tuck that tailbone under, roll back, and roll up. This is called rolling like a ball. Let's try 2 more. It's kind of fun. It's really fun if you have a nice cushy mat. Good. Stay up in this sitting position. You're going to take your left hand and move it towards your right knee. Your right hand is going to stay right on your right ankle. You're going to pull that leg close to your chest as you extend your left leg out, and then you're going to roll back and come up into that lift that we were in. So we are squeezing our leg right now, but our outside hand is on our outside ankle. We're looking at our knee or our inner thighs because we're up in that lift. Our rib cage is tucked down towards our hips, and we're pointing both of our toes away. We're going to pull that leg towards our chest. 3, 2, 1, and switch. Outside hand to outside ankle. Pull it towards you. 3, 2, 1, and switch. 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 Let's do 2 more, both sides. Pulling that leg towards you, but as you reach the other leg away, core is engaged. We are breathing. Elbows are wide because we're using that back to pull back. Good. Now you can take a break, or you can go right into the next exercise by grabbing both knees towards your chest. We're still up in that lift. Breathe. Come back up if you just took a break. Good. Now squeeze those knees towards your chest. We're going to keep our upper torso exactly where it is as we extend our arms and legs away from us and then come around for a nice little hug. You're going to extend them away and come in for a hug. So notice my upper torso stays completely solid even though I'm extending my limbs. And I'm going to bring them back together. Extend them out, look at those inner thighs, and bring them back in. 2 more. Breathing. Last one. If you feel it up in your head and neck, you can drop that head and neck down, and you can do the same thing with your legs shooting up a little bit higher. Good. We're going to grab the right, not at the right ankle. We're going to grab the right calf. So right above your knee. You can grab below your knee if you can't reach there, but don't grab here. You're going to grab above. You're going to keep those elbows wide, and we're going to come back up into that lift. You're going to extend the opposite leg away. Both toes are pointed. Elbows are wide, so our back is turned on. Pull that leg towards you. 3, 2, 1, and switch. 3, 2, 1, and switch. Little stretch and strengthen. Our core is turned on. Those legs are reaching away from us. Our back is helping as we pull those legs towards us. Breathing. Really try to straighten those legs as much as you can. Before I started Pilates, straightening my leg was absolutely the hardest thing in the world. And now, after just trying, these legs finally go straight. And that's the flexibility we're working on. Good. Last one. Breathe. Good. Knees towards your chest. Relax for a second. You're going to extend both legs straight up to the sky. See, they shake as they go up because they're straight up. It's hardest for me. Hands behind your head, elbows wide. You're going to come up into that lift again. So our rib cage is down. We're sliding it into our hips. We're looking at our inner thighs. We're going to squeeze those legs together, make them long, and we're going to slowly drop them down and lift them back up. Now, you're controlling the depth of how low you drop them and how high you lift them. The lower you go, the more stress it is on your core. So you need to listen to your body. If you drop it and your lower back pops up, that's too far. If you just drop it just 2 inches and back up, that's better than going lower and having your lower back pop up. Okay? Let's do 2 more. Breathing. Good. Drop those knees down, relax that upper body. We're going to have our feet firmly planted onto the ground. Our elbows are wide. We're going to lift that left knee up. And as we lift up, we're going to take our right shoulder, not our elbow, our shoulder, and come across our body. Hold it here for a second. Press that right foot into the ground. Good. And then press the left foot down, bring the right knee up, and switch. Look at how I'm leading with my shoulder. My elbow is way back. So twist a little farther and open up a little bit more. Good. And then switch. Twist up, press through that opposite foot. Breathe. And back down. You can either keep it here or you can bring both knees up into chair-like. Do the same thing except for instead of pressing into the ground, you're going to extend that leg out. You're going to extend, cross over with that shoulder, extend, breathing. 1 more both sides. Actually, I think I have to do right and left here to now make it even. So now, last one right here. Good. Drop those feet down. Point those fingers and those toes. Make yourself nice and long. Open up that body. Feel that stretch. Good. We're going to flex our toes towards us. 1 more roll up to get up. Arms up. You're going to inhale, exhale. Come on up. Squeezing those legs together. Wonderful. Good. Now I'm going to point towards you just so you can see what I'm doing here. So we're going to spread our legs about the size of our mat, maybe a little bit wider. And you're going to have your fingertips right in front of you, okay? You're going to pretend that there's a big beach ball right here, or a big log. And as we reach our fingers forward, we're reaching up and over the beach ball, okay? You have hip points right here, right? So your hips right now are pointed straight up. If we were to just reach our toes, just reach forward, your hip points are tipping way forward, right? It's going to stretch the backs of your legs. It puts a little stress on my lower back in particular. That's not what we're doing, okay? Hip points are going to stay pointed straight up. Fingertips down on the mat. As you reach your arms forward, you're pulling your belly button back. So we're going to inhale, exhale, reach those arms forward, pull that belly back. This is called the spine stretch. So we want to stretch our spine, tuck that head under, look down at the ground, and then sit tall. Good. Inhale, exhale, reach forward, pull that belly button back behind you. Pretend that someone is back behind you, yanking that belly button back through your spine, and sit tall. Good. We're going to keep going like that. I'm just going to twist so you can see me in a different direction. Good. We're going to inhale, exhale, round that back as you pull that belly button back and reach that arm forward. Breathe. Good. Look at where my hips are. They're still pointed straight up, and sit tall. 2 more of these. Inhale, exhale, reach it forward, and sit tall. Last one. Good. And sit tall. Let's bend both of our knees. And this next one is very similar to rolling like a ball, but we're going to start with the balance part. So our knees are bent. We've got our hands on the outside of our knees again, and we're going to lift up so that we're balancing just like we did in the beginning with rolling like a ball. So our heels are pressed together in the Pilates stance. So heels here, toes are away. And we've got our hands on the outside of our ankles. Now, we are going to take one hand and kind of flip it around. You can do the other hand at the same time if you want, but sometimes easier to do one at a time. You're going to lift your right leg up to the sky and balance and breathe. Put that leg down, lift the other leg up to the sky and balance and breathe. All the while, your tailbone is tucked under, your belly, your waistband is pulled back, right? Keep alternating one leg at a time. I'll show you a front view. So you're balancing, and you're going to lift one leg up to the sky, point it away, try and straighten it as much as you can. Bring it back together. Lift the left leg up to the sky, point it away. Good. Breathing. Let's do one more singles, both sides. Whoops, see, I almost lost it. I lost that center of gravity, and it can knock you right over. Breathe. Good. Now let's do both legs together. So you're going to lift both legs up, straighten them away, connect those arms to that back so that they're helping. Don't make this just a single muscle exercise, a whole body. Breathe. Good. Lift away and hold. Good. Do one more like that. Twist back this way. And then holding and balancing may be where you're at today. And that may feel great. But if you're feeling a little spunky, you can hold them up here. You can tuck that tailbone long, roll back, and then roll up. Whew. Good. Roll back and roll up. Point those toes away. Find where you can balance. You're once again not rolling onto our neck. We're just rolling up to that upper back. Good. Breathing. One more. Good. And then bring those legs down with control. All right. We are going to roll onto our belly here. So come onto your belly. Legs nice and long. We're going to have our elbows up wide, and our hands, our forehead's going to be connected to our hands right here, okay? So what we're going to do first is we need to internally rotate our legs. So if your feet, you're going to think of turning your feet in towards your center line. So you're going to, let's see if I can find a good way to show this to you. You're going to lift them up and turn them in, up and in. So if they're down long, I don't think that was a good description. If they're down long, lift them, your inner thighs up and out of the way, and up and out of the way. Don't get too caught up in it. If you can't do it, don't worry about it. Press the tops of your feet into the mat, and also press your pelvis into the mat. And that should engage your core and kind of lift your belly up and away from the mat just a hair. You may absolutely still be touching the mat, but you should feel those muscles lifting up and away. Then you're going to connect your forehead to your hands, right like this. And you keep your forehead to the hands the whole time. I'm going to be turning up so that my mouth is not muffled on my mat the whole time. But you're keeping your forehead to the mat, pressing that pubic bone and the tops of those feet into the mat or into the ground. And then you're going to lift those arms up and keep that head connected to those to the backs of your hands. And then down. We're going to inhale, exhale as we lift up, pressing that pubic bone into the mat and then back down. Good. Inhale, exhale, lift up, breathe, hold it up here for a second, and then back down. We're going to do 2 more. Inhale, exhale, lift up, and release. Good. Inhale, exhale, and lift. Pressing the tops of the feet and the pubic bone into the mat, and release. Good. Now you're going to come up onto your forearms. So we're pulling our arms back so that our elbow is right underneath our shoulder, right here. We have our legs in the same position, so our feet are pressing into the mat. We're going to lift our belly up and away a little bit. So if you let that lower back sag, you're going to get all into your lower back. And I don't know about you, but my lower back is very finicky and it can get very angry. So let's protect it. So what we're going to do is we're going to press our pelvis into the mat and lift our belly up and away. So we're going to kind of engage that core. At the same time, we're pressing those shoulder blades away so that we have a nice, big, wide, strong back. We're connecting those arms to that back. From here, we're going to take our right leg and we're going to kick our own butt 3 times. So we're going to go 3, 2, 1. Point it down, left leg. 3, 2, 1. Good. I keep turning my head to look at you guys, but if you can, keep your head forward so that your head and neck is in line with your spine, okay? Keeping that pelvis pressed into the mat, keeping the other leg pressed into the mat. Trying really hard when you kick yourself to not, let's see if I can do it, to not just wiggle and wobble all over the place. You want to have firm pressing into the mat. You are a solid rock. Now you're going to 3 kicks. Good. And only that right leg is working. Only that left leg is working. And I wouldn't say working. I just mean that's the only one moving because everything else is solid and firm, which means it's working hard. Good. Go ahead and relax all the way down. You're going to take your hands and you're going to place them up as high as they'll go near your bra line. If they don't go that high for you, that's fine. Listen to your body. You're going to cross your fingers and kind of loop like both your fingers or your thumb and your finger, whatever works to kind of hook them together. Still keeping those legs long. This time we're on one cheek. So you're going to have your head turned towards one side. You're going to lift those legs up and kick your butt with both legs. 3, 2, 1. And then you're going to pretend there's a string connecting your hand and your feet together. So as your feet go down, you're going to lift that chest and pull that upper back up. Point everything away. Good. Then you're going to relax and put your cheek down to the other side. I'm obviously going to do the same side so I can see you. Kick 3 times. 3, 2, 1. And then extend. And when you extend, lift that head so that your neck is in line with your spine. And then come back down to the other side. 3, 2, 1. Extend. Lift that upper back. Breathe. And the other side. 3, 2, 1. Extend. Good. 2 more. 3, 2, 1. And extend. And last one. 3, 2, 1. And extend. Good. Go ahead and press yourself back into child's pose. Let your knees fall out to the side and just stretch that back for a second. Breathing. Relax into it. Good. Keep breathing. All right. We are actually going to end it here because I wanted to keep it at 30 minutes and we are just about there. So that's a great stopping point. Breathe, breathe. Hold yourself in that child's pose for a couple more minutes if you want. You can come over to one side so that if you're in child's pose and you're straight on, you could bring those arms over to the right side and feel that stretch. Breathe into that rib cage and let it expand. Bring it over to the other side and stretch. Good. Come center one last time. Good. Go ahead and sit up. We're going to take a nice deep breath. Grab your wrist, reach up and over. And then the other side, up and over. release for one last deep breath. All right, thank you guys. I hope that you enjoyed it. Have a wonderful evening, and I will talk to you later.